Welcome to Edmonton in Canada for the final UIAA World Cup and World Championship of the season. What a shot that is as we come into our climbing arena, taking place in the centre of Edmonton. The skyscrapers dominating the arena, but trust me, all the action is down there on the ice wall. My name is Matt Groom. I'm going to be bringing you all of the action from this evening's entertainment. And hello if you're joining us on YouTube. We've had dedicated viewers throughout the last couple of days, so welcome everyone. This is the provisional results, the current leaders for the overall title for this year's 2024 season. Wu Xin out in front, 200 points, hers to lose really at this stage. She's in the finals as well, but as we know, anything might happen. And for the men, Young-Gun Lee, 145, he's not as far ahead away, but he is in the final. And Kwon there not in the final, so really his closest competitor is Virgil Devin from France. That is the situation in the men's. But as I said, this is a World Cup and a World Championship combined. So the winner tonight will be World Champ, and this is our top 8. They climb in the opposite order from where they qualified. So Haruku qualified in last place. She will climb first. And then Wu Xin qualified in first, so she will climb last. Catalina Shirley, one to watch from the USA. What a season she is having as well. And Marianne van der Steen makes up our top 3. But really all to play for. And then for the men, down at the bottom, Mohamed Reza Darian. He won the lead the other night. He is the world champion in that. Can he get the double and make it 2 out of 2 and win the lead as well? He's certainly put himself in the best position for that. Lots of tops in the men's competition, or lots of people coming close anyway. But for the first time, we get to see that ice structure in the middle. And there's something pretty outrageous coming up. You'll notice the first high clip. Well, that's because that's where the athletes have got to get to. And there's a dyno from the ice onto the box. I will be joined by some athletes in a minute. They're just arriving into the arena. But we are seconds away from getting going here. 8 men and 8 women fighting it out for a World Championship place. So, YouTube, give me a shout out. Where are you watching this finals from? What are you up to? If anyone is in Europe, I think it's about 3 o'clock in the morning over there, so full respect if you happen to be watching us there. Do let me know. I will be sending out prizes, of course, to the people who are most outrageous. We can see there the long clip being undone for the first climb. Coming out of the sky, really, hooking that rope, getting everything ready for the athletes who have already observed this route. Just before we went on air, they were out there with their 8 minutes of time, checking out the route, trying to figure it out, and it is a complicated one, this. Ignore the walls to the right and left, it's straight up the ice and into that ceiling there, those boxes that are hanging down. Now, if you're unused to this and you want to know the rules, well, don't you worry, I've got your back. But the basic principle is you start at the bottom, you finish at the top, you clip all the quick draws in order on the way, and you finish the route by clipping the last quick draw and matching on the final hold. So, hello to someone's in Bozeman, Katie McKinstry in Bozeman, Montana. Patrick's in Switzerland, unbelievable. Patrick, there you go, 3 a.m. Fair play, Patrick, an athlete, not competing here. So good to have you on board. Thank you, Patrick. You joined us in the semi-finals as well. Someone's in France as well. Plante voile, I don't know. And I'm joined here by an athlete, Kendra, who's just getting herself sorted in the box, who's going to take us through the first 4 athletes, and then Willis from the UK will come in to close things out. So 2 guests joining me this evening. And the temperature, as you'd expect, has plummeted once that sun has gone away. It's full night here. And we are starting with some ice to get things going. So great to see that. Women's final going first. Men's afterwards. And that ice looks pretty solid out there in the cold air. So I am joined in the commentary box by Kendra. Kendra, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm very good. I'm excited to see the finals here. I don't know if you had a chance to look at the routes, but starting on the ice in the middle, that's a bit different from what we've seen before.
It is different, yeah.
Going to be pretty exciting. Tell me, like, from an athlete's perspective, because ice a little bit easier maybe than some of the dry tooling holes, but it might unsettle them a little bit.
Yes, it can be variable and change athlete to athlete, right? Whether it's because our picks are digging it out or the temperature is changing. I've noticed at several competitions now that the spotlights actually do melt some of the ice too.
All right, well, the athletes are out and about. Haruku comes on from Japan. launch is, there we go, onto the ice now. So this is the ice beginning. We can see big drilled holes to start things off, but then those blue markers disappear pretty quick.
They do. There still will be drilled holes, but they leave it to the athletes to be able to see that and decide where they want to go.
So for people who are watching this thinking, hang on a sec, why is there not more ice? It's ice climbing. Just explain to us briefly why we don't use ice.
We used to be 100% ice, and actually it was too easy. You can go anywhere, you can kick in. Then we started using red lines to make it harder, and then people were just getting disqualified for accidentally flagging outside the ice, and that's not fun for anybody.
Well, Kendra, you're getting loads of support on YouTube, by the way. Lots of people saying hello to you on the chat. So thank you to Kendra for joining us. Now, Haruku, easy through this first section. But really, the meat of the route begins once the athletes have topped out this ice. So she cruises through the first section, as we'd expect. And then, yeah, she has a look up above her head at the boxes that are coming. She was did well in Sunderland recently.
Yeah, this is going to be totally unique for all of the athletes.
It's quite precarious, isn't it? As she stands up, careful, hooking high. And it confused the life out of me, I'll be honest, when I was trying to read this route. I had no idea what was going on. She cuts loose above the crowd. And now, really, on the board for the first time, she's already halfway up the wall, or the structure anyway. And look how much that box swings around. How does that affect you as an athlete when it's moving like that?
You know, I think we're getting used to climbing on these moving structures now, but, you know, in the moment you just deal with it.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I mean, it's certainly unusual. I was saying during the semi-final that if I have a structure that moves underneath me, I tend to get out of there as quickly as possible, but you guys have to climb up it. And now there's this transition from the right box over to the left. Really crazy style moves here. She's going to have to cut loose in a second. Hasn't made any clips yet. High feet, snags the rope and is caught between the boxes. Hanging like a sort of iron cross style here. And now makes that transition. Good job from her.
The athletes are used to dealing with situations like that, but everything like that does take extra power and energy. And so you're trying to limit, you know, little things like that happening.
Yeah, over-gripping can be such a problem, can't it? 'Cause you just get pumped out for the rest of the route, especially when you're a bit nervous and it's unusual.
Absolutely.
That's such a cool shot. Our drone operator has been providing these wonderful shots of the structure and of the surrounding city. So cool to see. Right, well, she's up towards the roof. Now, red lines across the top of the box, because the new rules, you could, if they weren't there, you could mantle up onto those, so that's why they've avoided them, right?
Yes, and actually in qualification, the red lines were not there, and we did see a couple athletes use the top of the box to skip some holds, and obviously the route setters were a little upset about that, and now we've seen the red lines appear.
A little upset, I like that. Just annoyed someone smashed their Vita. And it is hard, isn't it, trying to work out all the possibilities. All right, well, Haruku has the clips in under the boxes. Look how steep things get here. We were calling this next section like earthquake walls during the semi-final because of the way they move.
That's fair. I think that's a good description.
I like it.
Yeah.
I ran with it, and I'm sticking with it.
Great. I'm on board.
Okay, excellent. Because it is kind of suspended above the arena. Lots of friends. Tyler's online saying, I'm back. My fellow ice friends. Hello, Tyler. Lovely to see you. Nick thinks it's a crazy start to the route. I agree, Nick. It is mad. Working her way across now into an even steeper section. Still only 10 points on the board, though. And cutting loose again. Pulling her body back onto the wall here. And she's got to transition towards that pink hold above her. Oh, and slips. The axe hangs for a second, then falls. Hopefully she's all right. Missed that. Yep, she's alive. That's okay. Yeah, falling ice axes is something unusual to climbing competitions, but you have to sort of, after you fall off, you have to have your wits about you, don't you?
Yeah, you have to be a little bit heads up, and you know, especially sometimes you'll see her move out of the way to be untied there to make sure that nobody's under her ice axe.
Absolutely. Helmets are essential if you're anywhere near this structure. And that was the fall. Kind of just got herself a bit tangled up as she tried to make the transition.
Yeah, there was some discussion over the weekend about why that ice structure was in the middle under the bigger structure, and now we see why.
Yeah, people were pointing out that it's kind of a ledge, and mentally it's quite hard to climb above a ledge like that. But yeah, as you said, it's now in use. Okay, next athlete out onto the stage. He did well in the semi-final round. Yadota from Japan. And again, starting on the ice, which I'd be very surprised if someone fell off the ice.
Agreed. And it would be very unfortunate. Things do happen like that every once in a while, and it's just really sad. Nobody wants that to happen.
No, absolutely. Well, Tyler's enjoying it on the YouTube chat. He simply says, wow. Yep, I agree, Tyler. It's great to see such a cool community develop throughout this season. There are regulars who I see at every competition joining us. And that ice looks incredible when the lights are on it.
Yeah, it's really fun, and people can come out and try to ice climb on that. They have been for like a month now, and they will continue to keep it open for longer. Brilliant.
Got to get involved. All right, well, Gaido stands up, makes sure of it. And we were discussing this in Champagny a bit, how the crampons the athletes are wearing for this competition aren't actually very good for standing on ice like this.
Yeah, if I were one of these athletes and I had crampons with rakes available to me, I would have put them on after viewing the route preview.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Well, he's up. Same start for the women. Ooh, full pull-up on that axe. And he's into the points now, but the men's goes right, the women's goes left. So we get to see this new start to the route. People are asking what the temperature is. I'm not sure. We'll try to get a temperature up for you if we can, but down in the minuses for sure, probably minus 10-ish. We'll have a little look if we can get that measurement for you.
You know, it's chilly, but I think in the scheme of things, this is a pretty manageable temperature for the competition. We've definitely climbed in very much colder.
Absolutely. People were doom predicting sort of minus 40 at this event, so I'm very pleased it's not minus 40.
Yeah, it could be here in Edmonton.
Yeah, I packed all the clothes, so I'm glad I won't have to use them all. All right, well, he is cleanly up, now needs to make this move over to the right wall. So a different kind of start for the men. And then clips that bottom draw. It's a bit bizarre, really, to clip a draw that's actually lower than the one previously. It's a bit unusual, this route. Down climbing, I haven't seen this before. Wow.
It is unusual, but it has become common, especially on our smaller structures. So to be able to get the length of a finals route and the difficulty, we've incorporated down climbing, and being able to take that hit on your arms and your core is like equivalent to like a couple moves up.
I mean, when I think back to the start of the season in Cheongsong and how massive that structure is, and then we come here, there is difference in sizes, and you're right, it does take some creative route setting to make it work. But he's going up again now, which will feel better, more natural. Tyler on the chat says he loves down climbing. Tyler, what? Does anyone like down climbing? I'm not convinced there, Tyler.
Well, if you spend your time training it, you know.
This is true. Maybe I need to down climb more in training. All right, well, he's up at the top of the first structure on the right. He'll climb back left now, dropping down.
Onto the earthquake wall.
Yes, this is it. Look at the thing. It is something out of a sort of, you know, one of those museums you go into where they simulate earthquakes and the ground shakes beneath your feet. It's like that. And those crosses, Kendra, that's last clipping positions marked, I think, for the judges.
I would agree with that. That we're just seeing that pop up now.
Yeah. Yeah, but it indicates to the judges where the athlete can't go past in order to make the clip. And this is an awkward clip. He's trying to drag. He's kind of got himself twisted up in the rope here. And even that's not going to work, I don't think. He's going to have to go all the way beneath himself. And rope management is such a part of climbing.
It is. It absolutely is in these roofs. And to be able to efficiently flow through the roof, you don't just have to figure out the figure 9, figure 4 transitions, but you need to figure out how to get the rope over or under your legs at the right time to be able to clip.
Yeah, and of course you don't want to weight the rope. I mean, Olga had a moment during the semi-finals where she kind of weighted it and then came down, and that's the other problem, isn't it? You can get your foot hooked in the rope. Moment of desperation there as he flicked it out.
And that's one of the reasons that they use the rakeless crampons, is to not get tangled in the rope or cut yourself.
You guys are just so outrageously hardcore. I cannot get my head around it this year. I've just been like mouth open at most competitions because, like, forget sport climbing. This is like where the action is at right now. I mean, it's like hacks. I mean, you've got axes, for goodness sake. And this route is wandering all over the shot as he's trying to swing and drop down to the next hold. Keep an eye on the time as well. Minute 36 left. It's not a lot of time.
It is not.
He's got a lot of climbing to go. The head wall above him. You kind of get the feeling he's slightly lost his way here, but now gets it. His legs kicking wildly. Imagine the core hooks the rope again briefly. He is still in, and I think there's a Stein pull coming up on the left here. Yeah, it is. Look, flicks the axe. He'd ideally like the head pressing in, which now it is. Up towards the next clipping position. Wraps those feet again. Less than a minute, though, on the clock. People in the chat are amazed at this route. Me too. I need a road map for this route myself.
Yeah, the athletes talk about that. You know, it's another skill to be able to map this in your head and keep track of where you are and where you need to go while you're climbing.
Especially when it's this 3D. I mean, you can get disorientated easily on the wall. And red lines up there as well, so he's got to be careful not to touch those. Kicks into the volume above his hips. I think he could be in trouble here. He is. He falls. You could see his arms just not functioning the way he'd want them to. A score of 16. And wow, what a journey that is, that men's route. Crazy, crazy. Oh, he's full of smiles. He was in the semi-finals as well.
Well, now we've got a little bit of a map for that route, and it's going to be interesting to see the future men come out and see how they do it.
Exactly. Well, Nathan Clare will be out for the men as we watch a replay of this. This was the swing from the right wall back into the earthquake wall at the top. And this is where he just got a bit mixed up with the rope. It was kind of wrapped around himself. He didn't look comfortable. And then finally the move where he was burning out. It looked like he was in trouble a couple of seconds before. And yeah, just couldn't hold on to that. So back to the women now. Marianne Salmon-Thomas is out on the ice. There she is in the shadows. And she's another one who really could take victory here. I mean, she's low down the list in terms of qualifying for the finals, but, you know, we know how good she is.
Absolutely.
Mark is saying it's hard to cut the rope with the crampons. It is, Mark, but I have seen it happen. I saw a rope shredded in Saas-Fee, so it does occasionally, you know, go like that.
It does, and I mean, there's a difference between cutting through it all the way or nicking it enough that we need to cut that off for the next competitor, right?
Yeah, no, that's good. I should confirm. I haven't seen a rope cut in half yet. That would be a different kind of problem. But I have seen it taken down to the core before, so it is risky sometimes. All right, easy hooks for Marianne as she makes her way through the ice here. It is kind of ledged out, so not too hard. And as you can see, she's hooking, not picking in. These axes the athletes use for dry tooling are not very good on pure ice like this.
No, the angle is really not correct on these tools for swinging into the ice effectively.
Yeah, that's another aspect of this sport. Of course, the speed does take place on pure ice, very different speed. And you can watch that for free on the UIAA YouTube channel. In fact, you can watch all the comps for free. All right, with about 5 minutes 30 on the clock, Marianne takes a very deep breath as she stands up on this delicate platform. I wouldn't want to be standing on that.
No.
Scary stuff. Remember, there's no spikes in the back of her fruit boots, and you can see tiptoeing her way up. Oh, she's looking tenuous, but stood up tall. And suddenly, you know, you've got to cut loose on top of an ice structure. It's wild. But she's in, and I would imagine she'll be feeling much more comfortable right now.
I believe she is, yes.
Yeah. Like back on normal ground. Hanging upside down, you know, above the ground. Is normal ground for these guys. Into the Stein pool. You can see the whole box tilting towards the left as she puts her weight onto it. All right, well, she's stretched out. What a shot that is. Can you imagine those people crossing the road behind her right now, looking up and being like, what is that?
We had our waitress at dinner, and we told her what we were doing in town. She's like, oh, is that what's going on over there? I'm like, yeah, you got to check it out.
Yeah, I mean, look, because there's a dog park next door to the structure. You can see the dogs coming in the background, so it must be good for the dogs as well. They can check it out. Marion is on the left box now, getting her knee involved a little bit as she scrubs on a volume. Changing her hands around. And moving between the various grips, Kendra. I mean, she's only really got 2 grip positions there, but we do see athletes with like 3 handles on the axe. And
right, and we even talk about on these handles that Marion has, the bottom section is quite long, and so it's first position, and then 1.5 position is the top of that handle, and then second position is above the next pinky rest. But you're right, the Korean holds have 3, or the Korean tools.
Do you ever change things up? Do you go, you know what, I want to try a 3-hold ice axe? Oh, this is a long reach. Yeah, do you ever change, or do you tend to stick with something you know?
So in my 14 years of competition, I've used 3 different tools, so have definitely upgraded each time. But I think a lot of us try out everybody else's tools.
Yeah. It just interests me so much that how you make that decision. Well, Marion lowers herself down onto that side pull. That's our audience. It's the busiest it's been for the last couple of days here. They're enjoying the spectacle. Just under 3 minutes. She's on 9. Needs to get to 11 to jump up to the top spot. Delicate with that left axe. Drops in. And Marion looks like she's really settled into this run now. Looks comfortable.
Yeah, she's on to familiar terrain. We've been in these areas of the structure now over the other routes.
And look at that. Just there's a screw sticking out of that pink hold. She's only got the very tip wrapped around it though. Makes the clip underneath the roof. Well, looks like double Steinpul's coming up here. She is in the lead at the moment. That's a floating one, or is she going to press the head? I think she's pressing it.
Yeah, she can Steinpul that. Yeah. Maybe not all the tools can.
That's a good point, yeah, because they are different, of course. There's a second one coming up as well. That looks a little easier. 1:55 on the clock. And do remember how steep this is right now. It doesn't necessarily look it from that angle, but check out the quick draw above her. Oh, nearly slipped there. Kicked that foot over the top. I think it was, it looked riskier than perhaps it felt for her. She does have to be careful of the edge of the wall as well, that middle structure. And there's the drone shot, which shows how steep it is. Still lots of climbing to go, only on 15. Another Steinpul up above her head. This is an impressive run from her. But at some point they'll be shouting up about the time. She's less than a minute now. Just to remind everyone, that clock is not necessarily 100% correct, but it gives you an indication of it. Oh, losing the left foot again. Bit of a nervy run, this one. At the top of the wall. Sort of holding my breath as she's swinging around here. Oh, can't make that clip. Bit of rope drag causing her some problems as well, I think. Has it in now. Okay, so she can relax a little. 18 seconds though. I don't know if it's going to be time to top this. A lot of climbing to go on this route still. She's certainly got a move on though. She knows every hold is points on the board. She needs them. Matches, climbs her way up the ice tool. She's been timed out. She is done, but a good run from Mariam.
Yeah, absolutely. New high point, worked her way through all of that steep terrain.
Well, she's up at the top spot. Waves goodbye. That's the end of her season right now. That's so weird at this point of the year, isn't it? Because that's it for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know the training doesn't stop, but in terms of competing, that could be it. Well, it is it. Some people have a couple of national competitions. That was a nervy moment where she kind of kicked the leg over. I think she was in control, but it just looked a bit like she was going to slip for a sec.
Yeah, I think that was a little awkward, but not really risky.
Yeah. And then this was the top. Got timed out, let go, back down to the ground for Marion. And we switch over to the men again. Nathan Clare will be up from France. I know we've got some French people watching this competition. You told me at the beginning, so now is your moment to shout if you're watching at home. 2 French athletes in this final for the men. And that's a cool shot to show the structure. You can see the dog area at the back. The crowd has gathered down the front. The fires are where the VIP section is. They get blankets and fires because they're very important people. And then the rest of the crowd gathering. And Nathan Clare, his moment to shine. Gets himself set. And he's underway with a bit of a slither of the feet there.
I'm excited to talk to the athletes and hear what was going through their minds when they first looked at this route.
Yes, I agree with you. Yeah, well, be at the after party so we can give them a few beers and find out what goes on. Find the truth. But first of all, you got to stand on this icy step. And Nathan doesn't really hesitate on this. He's just straight in on his tiptoes, though, of course. That's where the crampons are at the front. Lots of allées going on. Yeah, this is powerful. Campusing across. Wow. That's cool to see. Who needs feet? He's just got one hanging. Bit of a heel hook there. We saw a heel hook in the women's competition earlier on.
Yeah, we actually saw both the men and women do it in qualification as well.
This is a bit wild from Nathan. He needs to get some feet in. And this big stretch out to the right now. And swing himself over. Right, he's on a more solid structure, I guess, but the earthquake wall is coming.
So this plywood is harder to kick into than we've seen for most of the season.
Yeah, it's hardwood, isn't it? So it's different. So, and I mean, you've climbed on it. What does it feel like when you're kicking? Does it just not go in as much?
Yeah, you just have to kick harder. So it's secured in a ton of places as well, like way more screws than we also see. So there's no bouncing, which is really nice. But it's just harder. In some competitions, we're used to really...
Oh, it's a full... Well, we'll get a replay of that. Just as we're saying, it's hard to kick in. I mean, perhaps that was the case. Pinged off. And this is the thing with this sport, is it can just happen in a second. You just go, and you don't often know it's going to happen.
Yeah, you really have to watch the video footage often to be like, what happened there?
I'm glad you said that. I spend most of my time going, what happened there? Well, let's see what happened there. So he made this transition nicely over. That was all good. Wild. That was a big swing, though. And let's see where it was. So there's the left axe. He kind of had it down low, and it seemed to ping.
Yeah, and he also didn't have his left foot in as well, so...
Yeah, he is gone. Wow, well, early drama for the men. And we go back to the women. Emir will be up next for the women. Good to see her back in the final. She didn't make it in Saas-Fee, so good to have her where she belongs, really.
Absolutely.
All right, well, there she is. She comes out of the shadows in a dramatic fashion, tied on and ready to go. Wearing the green of Ireland. I'm not sure anyone in Ireland is awake watching this, but if you are, please let me know on the YouTube chat. And if you're not from Ireland, you're still supporting him, then let me know, please. She needs your help back at home. All right, she's off the ground, onto the ice. Hooks in. Athlete number 3 out for the women. Now, there's no real big scoring points here. The clock, of course, does tick down, so speed is pretty important down low.
Yeah, it's a really easy place to lose time if you're like double checking placements in the ice.
Yeah, we know time is a factor, especially for the women's route. There we go. We have someone supporting Irish but living in Melbourne. That counts. Ymir gets stood up. Nick as well supporting her. Let's go, McSwiggan. And here we go. Everyone who gets up there sort of stands up, takes a deep breath and goes, okay, here we go. She's looking down, pressing. Yeah, I know if you're watching at home, you're like, well, just stand on it. But they haven't got crampons on the back of their feet. So imagine standing with climbing shoes on a block of ice. You wouldn't want that. But she's off the ice now, so that's good. Jeffrey is supporting Ymir, but watching from Malaysia, where it's 35 degrees. Lucky you.
I don't know. That doesn't sound very comfortable to climb in either.
I would prefer it.
I do not.
Okay, that's fair enough. We'll agree to disagree. I think the idea of a beach right now sounds pretty good. All right, oh, she's stood up, knees flat against the wall as she locks in the first time pull. I love her axes as well. They're so cool. I said it in semis, but they're a bit like a dinosaur, I think.
I think they get talked about as birds often.
Ah, yeah, I can see that. It's the sort of the neck. It's like a swan's neck. It's quite elegant. Okay, she wraps that fig four in. Looks to move to the left. No problems for her. Dealing with everything at the moment. No hesitations. This is awkward here, this move. Yeah, some high feet locked in, but yeah, it's just, she's got it kind of over her wrist at the moment.
Yeah, hanging low on these boxes is always super awkward, especially when you're getting into figure fours or figure nines, because your butt's hanging down there and you're smush against it. And
Smush, that's a great word. I haven't used smush for ages. It's fantastic. Oh, she is smushing away here. Needs to somehow get some feet placements, though. That right leg is causing her all types of problems. I said she was dealing with everything. I've kind of cursed her on this because suddenly she looks uncomfortable up there. Maybe a better foot position without the fig four in. And the pick is good. Like, that's not moving around. It's just the feet to get the height on this.
yeah. And certainly Ymer's very comfortable in figure four, figure nines, and less so just like campusing or pulling up. So,
oh, she's trying to get like a toe hook kind of thing. She's putting. Oh, she's in trouble. Oh, what the earth was that? That is outrageous. I mean, how is she still on this wall? She had fully fallen off there. That was cliffhanger styling. Oh, then she goes. Oh, and oh, that's nasty. She did just get hit in the face there. Oh, that has got to hurt. She looked up at right the wrong moment. That's right in the eye.
No.
Let's bring her down quick, please. She is smiling, but yeah, she looked. That was all types of drama. Can't wait to see the replay because she fully fell, but then she looked up and just got hit in the face by the axe on the way down. You can see immediately everyone's paying her some attention here. We do not obviously want to see that. I think she is okay. But what a catch that was. That was outrageous.
it was. Oh,
Oh, you can see the blood coming down. That is how hardcore she is. What a badass. Oh my God, this sport is outrageous.
I love it.
Yeah, like the chat is going crazy too, which they should, because that is insane. That might need some stitches. What other sport do we get falling knives, for goodness sake? It is like, I've run out of words, but let's hopefully watch this fall, because this was a dramatic run. She went from being uber comfortable here, like looked absolutely fine, to suddenly it kind of unraveled. This was the slip. Look at that reaction. How did she do that?
I so wanted her to recover from this. Like, how epic would that have been? but instead we got an epic tool to the face.
We did. I mean, and obviously the tool to the face is not what we want to see, but that came after. But that save, catching the right axe, and then this was the fall, and she just looked back up. Well, I can see the scene in the documentary right now, and whilst the documentary is being mentioned, On Thin Ice is coming. Episode 0 is out on YouTube, a bit of a teaser for you. And then all throughout this year, the guys have been filming the athletes. So there's going to be a couple of episodes coming out at the end of the year. What a story that's going to be. And I have a feeling that scene might make it the outrageous catch.
I hope it does.
I hope it does too. Well, we wish him a lot of luck. Hopefully that cut isn't as bad as it looked. But it's truly hardcore to take that. Whoa, right, well, that's giving me the shivers. I've been put off professional ice climbing forever. If it wasn't enough already, I'm just not cool enough or hardcore enough for this sport, I tell you. Kevin Lindlau will be out next from the USA. I think he's presumably getting tied in. I can see the rope swinging. Yeah, do send your support to her on the chat. I know people appreciating her guts there. So, Kevin, I was being told during the semi-finals, first one to confirm the grade of D16.
Yeah.
So the hardest outdoor dry tooling route in the world that man has done. Pretty cool.
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago, did the second descent.
Okay, and we're underway.
Yeah, unreal. So hopefully he's recovered from that. He's got something back in his arms. I'm sure he's well recruited at that stage. And he's up onto the ice nice and cleanly to start things off on this wild, wild couple of routes for the men and women. Kevin, getting support on the chat. A lot of Americans watching as well, I know. So get behind your athlete, please, as he pulls up and over this lip. Gets stood up nice and tall, hacking in, making sure of the placements. A little bit slower. Wants to make sure of it, and now he gets stood up above the crowd.
You know, all of these athletes know that they can do this move with no problem, right? But it's just the mental of it being weird.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to stretch without standing on that block, which I completely agree with. Why not? Definitely the safest way to do that one. All right, well, he's back in comfortable territory for him, which is upside down with spikes next to your face. Rotates the feet around. He's got to traverse now around this block. Going back towards the main structure on the right. We did just see an early fall from Nathan Clare, so remember that is a possibility.
Kevin is most at home in this roof terrain. That D16 that you referenced is 60 meters of roof.
Wow.
So
he should be cruising right now.
Absolutely.
Oh, but he isn't. Look, he's got himself all wrapped up. That is problematic. So the rope is wrapped around his leg. The axe was wrapped around. He's still got to flick the rope. Gives himself some slack. This is danger B-leg as well. Oh, we're getting it all. I can't cope with this. There's a lot going on right now.
That was uncharacteristic to get into that position, but you could also see how calm he was and knew exactly how to get out of it.
Just to give you an update on Emir as well, she is getting stitches for her face in the medical tent, so she's getting the attention she needs. But yeah, stitches required for that one, so vicious. Right. Oh, he's got that left axe slightly behind, falls down onto the volume. Big jump down this. And he'll start the down climb section. And down he goes. Kind of unnatural this, but down a couple of meters, then back up as he goes to the right. Kevin getting support. Come on, Kevin Dog. Kev Dog, sorry. I don't think I can call him Kev Dog.
Yeah, me either.
No, oh, he falls! That is a big moment.
Oh, man.
Again, that sidewall causing all types of problems for the last two athletes here. Unreal. Wow, this is a dramatic final all round. Kevin goes early. And we will, of course, get a replay of that in a sec because we need to see what happened. This was it. So we had the Stein in underneath. Sorry, the floating undercling, and then just pinged.
Yeah. Twisted it a little bit. Came out.
Wow. He's still staring back up. I don't think he can quite believe what just happened there. I guess that, I mean, we say this a lot, but it kind of is what it is at some point. You know, like these falls, early falls can happen, and I guess you just have to put it to one side and move on. But
yeah, as a competitor that's dealing with what has happened and these things is, you know, big part of the game.
Tough when it's a world championship, you know.
Absolutely.
It's one event you really don't want to go early on. Oh, big moment, Kevin.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh.
No, I was going to say something silly, so I'm sure you were going to say something far more important
it's
than me.
Heartbreaking for both Kevin and Nathan. And
yeah, it is. Early falls like that. And for us as well. I mean, in a way, it's kind of cool for the competition because suddenly you can't relax at any point. You know, I always feel a bit stressed now. It's like if everyone was cruising to the top, I'd be happier. All right, Franziska is out from Switzerland. She has a look up at the wall, qualifying in the midway point of this final. And in a minute, Kendra, you're going to do one more men, and then we're going to swap you in for Willis in a minute, and you can go and enjoy the atmosphere out there in the stadium, although it is a lot colder than the commentary box.
Yeah, I've got the clothes for it, and I've got 2 teammates coming. So.
Okay, that's good. You're going to steal their jackets as well. Is that what you're
No, I'm going to go cheer them on.
Oh, right, okay, I'm with you. Yeah, so Kendra will be out there in a sec. But right now, she's with me in the commentary box while we're watching Franziska got the centre of this ice. I guess you could pick any way up it. But kind of wants to take the most direct route. Easy hooks. Make sure of everything. And the thing is, you can kind of tighten up when you're trying to be careful. That's that pick in. Little hit of the axe. To make sure of it, she'll pull up onto the ledge and be very happy to be done with that, I'm sure. Trying to find a placement, gets the hook sorted. Stands up on the flat surface. And this is really where the scary bit is, this stand, and up, she's done the classic, which is like, oh my goodness, here we go. Faces the audience. Pressing down. Oh, she stood up. Little bend of the knees, not looking comfortable yet, but she will look comfortable when she's pulling on here. Outdoor with Tommy G saying he's been watching all day and has had a fantastic day. That's good. Even while he was at work, apparently. Good. I do like it when people skip work to watch ice climbing.
Sounds like a great day.
I think so, yeah. Get paid to watch it, why not? Okay, here we go. Stein pull in. Needs to get leaning far back in order to get the hold. That's the hold that we saw that crazy catch on just now. All right, here we go. She's going to need the crowd's support. She's into the scoring zone. She's got 5 points at the moment. Stretches up now. She's in this position, which we know is quite awkward.
Yeah, I mean, it's been purposely set that way.
Yes, yeah, true. Yeah, setters are not known for their kindness in these events. They want to challenge the athletes, not trick them, but challenge them. But that is much better from her. Ymir just got herself all mixed up in that section, but this is much better from Franziska. Reaches up onto the pink, wraps it around. It's kind of blind around the corner. Straight arms. She bites the axe. And the women's as well has this little drop down move. There's a good hole in that hold. Oh, with this draw, just difficult to clip. It's extended because of rope drag, but it swings around because of that. Flicks the axe and then looks over towards the left. She looked like she was trying to go straight for a second.
Yeah, I think she was contemplating skipping some holds or something, but...
Yeah, it was hard to see if she sort of just didn't remember the route or if she was attempting something crazy, but she's certainly going back to the normal way of doing it, which is good. But this is a scary move. There's not a lot on that. It's swinging around. She's got to put a lot of weight through and trust it. Changes onto the next. Pink screw hold coming up. And 2 minutes 20 on the clock. It is enough time. And up into that reverse. Yeah, that was the one it looked like she was going from way down low.
Yeah.
I think it was just a bit of a misread for a second.
Or hopeful thinking.
Oh, yes, true. Just wishing you'd grow about 3 feet. I think that all the time, to be fair. All right, into the top Steinpool. You've got to be careful of this and then weight it as much as possible. Wiggles it in, just flicks that rope to make sure of it. Getting a bit pumped now. She's in second position, Marianne Thomas, 18.1. So quite a bit higher still to go before getting into that top spot.
She keeps moving at this pace, though. She still has time.
Yeah, you're right. 1:20. And she is picking up the pace a little bit here. Slight shake of the legs, just giving away how much effort she's putting in here. Gotta stay so strong. Hips into the wall.
Looks like she's losing it a little bit.
Yeah, it's having to fight, isn't she? Such powerful moves when you're tired up there. Less than a minute as well. And the crowd cheering every move that she does. Snatching at the holds though. Floating Stein. This is risky. Gets stood high. Will want to move off this quickly. Needs to adjust the hands first of all. Has a little look. She goes for the cross. Slips down. How is that Stein? That's undercling in still. Oh, that was another outrageous save. Well, she's going to get timed out in a sec, but she has moved herself into the top spot with that save. Suddenly accelerating as well. The end is in sight for her. Locks it in. She's been timed out on our clock. She'll have a couple of seconds perhaps left. And there she is timed out, so it won't be a top. Takes the fall down, but that at 21 is our new leader.
That was a great push at the end there, fighting through her pump.
Yeah, we thought she was gone when she was standing up tall, but she found something, managed to recover for those last couple of holds, and that save was pretty wild at the top again.
Yeah.
Dropped way down. Ooh, yeah, deep breath from her. Good work.
She should be happy with that climb.
Yeah, it could be enough. I mean, with 4 athletes to go, she's set herself in a good position, certainly for the podium. Well, she will get that knot undone, and we'll probably see a replay in a sec of some of those moments, because it was a good run. And she's looking, she can't quite believe it herself there. All right, well, she takes a moment in the spotlight to enjoy her last climb of the season. People are enjoying it on the chat. Tommy G says, very, very nice, all in capital letters, so I know he's being serious. Patrick, just saying nice. Great push, says Mark, especially at the end. Yeah, it was a great push, wasn't it? Well, she walks into the lights, and as our drone rotates above the arena, we have Virgil Devon, who is preparing himself, athlete number 4 for the men. And Virgil is someone who is in for a shout for the overall title here. He's in second place at the moment, so, and only 40 points behind. So for him, this is an important run.
It is. He's had a really great season.
Oh, this is good. We got a first timer. It's me, Mashino. First time I've ever seen anything like this. Crazy amazing. Yes, it is crazy amazing. I totally agree with you. I mean, today already we've seen early falls, we've seen outrageous saves, and we've seen someone cut their face open. I mean, you do not get this kind of action at a normal competition.
Yeah, I don't think we could script it better.
No. This is why everyone should be watching this. All right, well, Virgil, who is built like an absolute unit, this man. He's enormous. Really strong guy. And he will, well, very positive through the opening moves of this ice section here. Reaching up. Real confidence here, no issues. And quick, and that's important.
Yeah, he definitely got through that very quickly.
Yeah, confident stuff. All right, he's on the platform. I wonder if he'll do the mighty stretch up. He wants to. He is. He doesn't want to stand on that shelf. I wouldn't. Now just gets 1 foot, but he's got good axes in. Swings up, and now he's underway. Less than a minute to get that done. That was well climbed. But I'm nervous about when he goes onto that wall on the right now. I don't trust it anymore. So he needs to get high, not only for the potential gold medal, but for the overall title. Younggun Lee is his closest competitor. Oh, we nearly knocked his axe off there. Kicked it on the way through. DJ just dropping a tense tune. See if he can hear my thoughts. Gets the hand swap in. And it's way back behind him. And that left axe can get a bit jammed. We've seen it a few times when they drop down. No one's lost it yet on that moment. Oof, wild.
Yeah, he was confident in that right tool, so he jumped off with that left tool.
To me, this run is pure confidence. I mean, he's looking really good at the moment. It's like he sort of made a decision that, hey, look, it's the last comp of the year. I'm just going to let it all go.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the top climbers, they believe that they can do all of this, and they're just going to climb that way. There's nothing safe about what they're doing. They're just going to climb to the top.
Yeah, literally nothing safe, as we've seen. Just, I cannot overemphasize this enough. All right, well, he's into this sketchy bit of the route, though. We've seen a couple of early pings here. So, hold your breath a little bit if you're a Virgil supporter. There can be such a thing as overconfidence as well. You still want to make sure of the placements. Okay, reaches up, trying to find a sweet spot. That next hold, just the feet. That draw hangs above his head up there. People really enjoying the route setting on the chat. Hangs loose again. That right axe gets left behind, holds the swing. Such confidence here. Right, well, he's through the sketchy bit. I think that setter is waiting to unclip the rope. He looks very suspicious up there. So upside down, head down towards the ground and the audience. And this is this journey we were talking about, and Virgil's only the second one to get onto the earthquake wall.
Whoa.
That's a big rotation, isn't it? Kind of gets tangled up.
From this angle, he looks literally just vertical.
Yeah, he pretty much is, isn't he? Now, especially now. I mean,
yeah.
Really wild, but he's very close to falling. That's our current leader down in the screen, within a screen. He's wrapped up warm in the hot seat. But Virgil, for the first time, pauses here. Well, that's good work. And he drops down. This is impressive stuff. Oof. All right, well, he's trying to shake that right iron out. He is pumped. Reaches up with a tenuous hook, wraps the leg around again. Got to get that draw in from this position. All right, gets the fingers in, makes the clip. Now he'll move into the head wall section. One hole to go before getting that number 1 spot.
And he's still got 2 minutes.
Yeah, plenty of time. This route goes from left to right on the head wall, using all the space possible. That's the overall leaderboard, remember, on the right. So he's on 100 points now. He still needs to do more. Sorry, 190 there now. Oh, and falls, though. Plummets out of the shot a long way down.
Yeah.
I love that. The camera doesn't move. The athlete just disappears from our vision. And he's back onto the ground. Our camera lady waiting down there to capture that moment. Framed in the lights. Well, it was a good effort from him. We'll have to wait for the score to be confirmed. Big smile on his face. Well, let's see some of these moments. This was the drop down. Real smooth transition in. Spotted the foot, kicked it in nicely.
Moving on to the earthquake wall there.
Yeah, look at the swing he's got going on. All over the place. So cool. And then that was it. Finally went. All right, well, Kendra, you've got people to cheer on.
Yeah.
And but thank you so much for speaking with me and in Champagny as well. It's been lovely sharing the commentary box with you. And have a good rest of the evening.
Thank you, Matt. It's been wonderful.
See you soon. Thank you. Well, we will get our co-commentators swapped around here as we wait for our next athlete to come out onto the stage. It will be Sina Gertz from Switzerland who is out next. Joining me in the commentary box is someone from Team GB. Willis Morris is here as he gets his mic on. Hello, mate. How are you?
Hello, everybody. Yeah, we are back for the last few climbers today, so pretty excited.
What do you think of this comp and the route so far? Because there's some wild setting going on right now.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, to see how the route setters have kind of, they're really winding all the athletes pretty much around every corner of the structure to really try and drag it out and give them as much climbing as they can on the structure. It's crazy.
It is. I feel like they've been well behaved all season, and someone's kind of taken their eyes off them for a second. They've just gone nuts with the toys. It's like they're throwing everything at this route.
I think it's always the way. The route setters are always trying to do something new every single comp, and this time they've got to turn up to a new city, a new country on the tour for a long time, and then they've got a brand new structure as well. So yeah, they're definitely having some fun today.
They are indeed. Well, Sina Gertz is taking her time down here. Don't want to fall.
Yeah, it's always risky with an icy start because these tools are not designed for this type of climbing, and the last thing you want to do as an ice climber is fall off the ice.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It should be your bread and butter, shouldn't it? All right. Well, she's up, standing on the top spot.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild position to be stood up there. You've got the crowd in front of you, everybody's watching, and you've got to tiptoe up onto this slidey block of ice and try not to mess it up.
No, I'm so glad we've got the reverse shot. We've been seeing it from the other angle, and you don't kind of realise how, you're really out there and in front of that crowd as well.
That pressure makes a big difference as well. You know there's a load of eyes on you, and this is the moment, and especially at this competition, it's the World Championships.
Yeah.
It's the last comp of the season. These guys will be feeling the stress today.
So you don't want to fall off a ledge, do you? It would just be a real sort of undignified way to finish your season. But luckily she's not. Flicks around. It's so cool to see the reverse of this shot. We've been seeing it from the other angle. It just shows you the full 3D nature of this. But she does need now to go to the other side of the box. And did you see the save earlier on?
I did. I saw Ema, that was wild. Absolutely wild. It's so cool to see, even when you think, oh gosh, this is really exciting, we got boxes in the sky, these athletes just like to turn it up a little bit more and just keep us all on our toes.
Absolutely. And she is getting medical attention, don't worry, but yeah, nasty injury from her. You're getting a lot of love on the chat. Thomas Franco says, hello, Willis.
Hey, Tomo. How you doing, mate? It's been really interesting watching some of the live streams at this competition because everybody back home in Europe, they're staying up late, staying up just to watch the streams, and I think everyone's pretty psyched back home.
I agree with you, yeah. It's like 3 a.m., it must be later than that, 4 a.m. in the morning now.
Crazy.
Well, she's got this pink hold wrapped nicely. That's good work from Sina. We expected her to do well. I mean, she's so strong and had a good qualifying run from semi-finals.
And she's so good in the roof in sections like this where, figure fours, figure nines are kind of mandatory.
Yeah.
She's so slick on them. She's able to move her feet up above her hands with absolute ease. This is this is a good playground for her, I think. She's definitely one of the favourites today.
Yeah, well, she's looking comfortable at the moment. Wraps those arms over again. But this next hold, it's a big move here into this screw on the pink hold. Wraps it nicely.
No problem there. Yeah, that's crazy.
You can hear the French crowd getting behind her. Changes again, gets that long clip in, and now there's a undercling Steinpull thing coming up here.
Yeah, this hold's weird. It's got a small hole in it, and although it is a good hold, it's quite hard to find actually, because the actual surface of the hold is rather big, and your pick can be sliding around, almost like circling the hole, but not actually going into it. But yeah, she found that quite easily there.
Yeah, now she locks in the next one. A lot of Korean holds on this wall, right?
Yeah, we've seen kind of nothing but really. Don't get me wrong, there's a few showcase holds from a few other brands, but the Korean route setters, it's been a strong Korean route setting team this week, and they brought a lot of these holds, and a lot of them are new as well, even for the Korean athletes, which is it's quite cool to see them kind of mixing it up and bringing out a few new things.
Yeah, it keeps it fresh for everyone, doesn't it? And everyone's in the same boat. Oh, big slip there. Not too much, though. Wasn't a huge catch. She was kind of pulling up as she went.
She's still got loads of time on the clock by the looks of it. So, yeah, if she can get through this next session and get her feet back on the wall, I think we're going to be seeing a new high point if she can keep it together. Yeah,
exactly. It's just if, isn't it? I would have unsettled her a little bit, but, I mean, she's such a pro. She'll put that behind her. Matches now underneath. And this is where we started to see Francisca really have to fight in the top of this wall.
Yeah, it's funny. The route setters really aren't giving anything away. You get on this headboard and you think, oh, there's the top. The top is literally just above her. But she's got to go all the way out and around that 8th clip just to get, another meter of height again. It's bonkers how much of a journey this route is.
Yeah, you're so right. All over the place. Well, that's a good shot to show what she's got the pick in, which is not very much. Just fitting in that box underneath the volume, but she's on here at 17. She's in 3rd at the moment. Still a long way to go. That's our current leader in the frame within a frame.
Yeah, you can see she's definitely feeling the pain right now, really having to shake out lots, and but she's still moving, and as long as she keeps moving, she's got a chance.
Yeah, goes for the next wrap. That's a big move. Those lats will be screaming. Shakes out up to the minute mark. And in 2nd, Sina making a play for the podium right now. You are right, though. She's got to be boxed up there.
She's definitely in the red. But I think at this moment, like the last climb of the season, she's going to be giving absolutely everything she's got in the tank.
Yeah, agreed. Well, it's ticking down. She is in provisional 1st at the moment, 21.
And I think we all know, I know we haven't seen it yet, but I think I know what's coming now. I think we're going to see some airtime.
Okay, right. So, possible dyno coming up.
Here we go. Come on, Sina.
That's the live cup standings, 2:17. So she's still not above Wu Shin, but what a fall. Whoa. That was massive, like face flat down towards the ground.
That was mega.
Wow. Well, a good run, exciting stuff on the final hole. She comes down in the top spot with 3 athletes to go. Swings towards our camera there, nearly takes her out. I want to talk to you about Southampton briefly, because you were heavily involved in the UK comp last weekend.
Sunderland, you mean?
Sunderland,
yeah.
Sorry, yeah, Sunderland, that one, the other. Hang on, we'll watch a replay of this first, because I want you to tell me about that. But let's have a little look at Sina here. This was down low off the ice structure. And then the head wall, where she really started to have to fight. That was a big slip, lost her feet.
That was the close moment there.
Somehow pulled it back and went all the way to the end. This is the last dyno, leaping to the right. Couldn't really get a lot back. You could see that right arm a bit bent there. But the fall was spectacular. Face down towards the crowd. Look at this.
Yeah, she just about sticks it. And
Oh!
so close. Like half a second more of purchase and she gets her feet back on and that's it. So
crazy, man. All right, so yeah, Sunderland. Cool to see a comp back in the UK. Success from your point of view?
Yeah, it was absolutely mega. It was a really big comp. Sunderland Wall is a pretty massive structure, 26 meters high. obviously it's an indoor rock climbing center, so we had to ply line the whole surface of the wall. So we put up about 100 sheets of plywood last week.
Wow.
And then we had around 90 athletes competing for the Continental Cup final, which was a pretty big, awesome event for the UK to host.
How are you even here? You must be exhausted.
Yeah, we did. I am fairly tired this week. We had a lot of trouble going to Finland, where I think back and forth a lot of athletes kind of bailed on Finland, which was the week before Sunderland. And then I came straight back off a flight to go down south and set this event for a week. And then obviously all the athletes came straight to Canada, but I had to stay with a few of us and strip all the competition down. And it's been a long week, and it's been a hell of an end of the season, but it's been good fun.
Oh, mate, congratulations for putting that on. And people can go and watch that. It's free to see on the UIAA YouTube channel. And it was a great comp. It really was. So do go and watch that if you missed it last weekend. I can't believe it was only a week ago.
I know. Honestly, that feels like a year ago.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's been a busy week. All right, well, Benjamin Bossard walks to the edge of the wall. He's got to start, I think, between those two banners. Yeah, in the blue hold. Athlete number 5 out for the men. We've seen all manner of things for this men's competition. No one coming close to the top. But lots of early falls. Yeah, a lot of people appreciating Sunderland on the chat. So, obviously, people enjoy that one. Benjamin's sitting in 3rd on the overall, 138. So, we can see Virgil Devon, who skipped up to 200 points. Which might not be enough. Youngan Lee out next. Sorry, in 2 athletes' time. He'll try to beat his score.
Yeah, Benji's going to definitely bring it all now. I think a lot of people have been waiting for Benjamin to take his first gold medal, and he's been so close on so many occasions. He had a bit of a nightmare in Saas-Fee, but he picked himself back up. At the start of the season, Korea, it was just a few holds away, and he's been fighting so hard, and he's been so close so many seasons. And I know there's so many people that will enjoy that moment for him, probably more than he will.
Yeah.
And I just hope he can do it today. I really want to see him pull this off. He's been training like an absolute machine, and it's his for the taking if he can keep it all together. So.
Yeah, it's a big arse, isn't it? And that pressure starts to sort of play on you when you know you should maybe be winning something. That's when the mind games start.
It's definitely in the athletes' heads, and I think the true show of a really strong athlete is not just those that can perform when they get away with it one day, but to be able to do it when the pressure's on you every time, when your team is watching, when you've got a big crowd, and they're able to just put it all aside, keep calm, keep it all together, and make it happen.
Yeah, well, he's having to keep calm right now. It's twice he's got tangled up in that rope. Not the smoothest start here. Right, out, back, and now he's got to do this crazy drop down, but that's so smooth from Benjamin.
I think it's always tricky with the top rope. Sometimes, in some of the Continental Cups, we have full routes that are on top rope, and people hate it. You're so used to climbing on lead, having the rope out of your way, down below your feet, and you go on top rope and you got the axe in your mouth, you got the top rope in front of you. It can be really quite distracting and quite difficult. But he's almost past this section, and we'll see if he can get past this drop down and into the proper lead section here.
Yeah, exactly. We're looking forward to getting that rope out of the way, as you said. But we've seen a lot of people fall here, so don't look away for a second here. Reaches up high, holding his breath almost.
Yeah, it's funny, the very top section of this wall before you go into the roof is surprisingly steep, and I don't feel like the camera angle quite shows it, but that little bit of steepness just means you've got to keep the tension through your core, through your arms. So although they haven't necessarily climbed a long distance to get to the roof, the amount of force you've had to put through yourself, when you get to that roof, you've already got a little bit of pump, you're already a little bit tired, and it definitely takes its toll on you. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you feel like you should have climbed half the route, and you look down, you're not very far up. It's going to be a bit depressing, really.
The perils of traversing.
Oh, tell me about it. All right, well, Benjamin is at the top of the structure. Earthquake wall to come.
I'm loving this earthquake wall chat. It's brilliant. I was watching the live stream earlier, and I was just like, that's going to live forever now.
I hope so. I'd like to leave something behind, This is my legacy, the earthquake wall. All right, well, he's close to it. Oh, look at the shake. I love it. He's got a big flick with that feet. Oof.
Quite interesting there. Benji decided to go in with the figure 4 first rather than the figure 9. Maybe just a tactic. He's maybe, chosen to go with the path of I'm going to go with right leg rather than left leg. But we'll see whether he ends up either totally knotted, realizing he's made a mistake, or whether it all works out really well here.
Yeah, because he is all twisted up. We've seen rope management being a problem through this section.
And I wonder if he went for that so that he could get this clip easily. Doing this clip off the 9 is definitely more difficult than before. But I guess the downside is now he's got to do this next move, probably off the 9.
Yeah.
Here we go. That's the one.
Oh, it's so awkward, isn't it? And then this head down position we see.
Come on, Benji. Get it together. Come on.
It's so different, that sort of literally head down position compared to we normally sort of think of it on a traverse where you're almost horizontal with your own legs. He's so low on that.
I think that's the difficulty with the 9 here, is it really inverts you. Like, you can see his weight is, he really is top heavy. His head is down the way. Whereas those that have gone the 4 have been sat up a little bit more upright. But he's managed to get across it, and it's, he's back in the game now. Yeah,
he is. Great drop down into the next sequence of moves here. Right, floating Stein coming up. Starts off floating, then he twists it, presses the head in. He's so fluid between those Fig 4s.
I think someone was telling me there's no hair left on Benjamin's forearms from all the training he's been doing in Figure 4, Figure 9s.
Wow.
I have no idea whether this is true, but if it is, it's pretty hardcore.
I've heard this rumour, actually. I've yet to look at his arms. He's usually so wrapped up I can't see it. I'll go and study him after the comp, let you know. Oh, Benji's onto the head wall now. Makes the match. That is a tenuous match, though.
And this hold has been, it's so bad. I mean, it's such a small lip, and you've got to be so careful with not moving that tool. He's got through that, though.
Yeah, delicate stuff, but it does ping again. That 16 hold. I mean, no one's got through it yet.
No, I think it's just such a precise hold, and your picks have got to be super sharp, and I don't doubt that they are, but if you have any rotation on that tool, you're getting spat off, and it's so unlucky. He looks super solid there, and so did the others that have made it that hold.
Yeah, well, that is unfortunate stuff. He looks back up at the wall in second, so not going to be enough for a gold here tonight. He won't be world champion, but he might be on the podium. But that hold proving problematic for everyone. Well, that was the fall on the replay. Coming down to the ground there. Swinging around off that pink hold. Let's see if we can listen in a little bit here. Not really, I can't hear anything anyway. DJ ramping things up in the background. Tell us a bit about the atmosphere, because it's not usual that we're at these competitions and you look up and you see buildings. It's quite strange.
It's quite weird today. It's been very odd to be, you get out of bed and you walk outside and you're like, oh, yeah, we're in a city. Normally you're waking up in, okay, maybe you are staying in the city, but usually there's a long drive out of some unknown.
Yes.
X marks the spot location in a field where they built this structure of doom that's covered in ice. But it's been quite funny. You're walking through downtown Edmonton. You're kind of going into the Oilers stadium and coming out through there. It's been totally different.
I like it. I'm down with it. I'm a coffee shop and city boy. So
it's been quite nice being out. You go out for lunch and you can actually go out to a cafe or something. You're not eating packed lunches here. It's been great.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. And it is a spectacle. Being in the middle of a city, you just attract people coming past. All right, Marianne van der Steen deserves some luck this season, I think.
It's been an up and down road for Marianne, I think. And, it's just the season that she's had, and it's just the sport and the nature of it. And she has had some mega moments, so hopefully she can add this to that list and not one of those negative experiences. Hopefully,
yeah, exactly. Sasve, she kind of misread or forgot a move and tried to do this outrageous pull, which went wrong for her. And she was devastated, of course, after it. So this is a comeback comp here.
It's been quite interesting watching her at qualies, and even just this week when we've kind of bumped into each other and seen each other in kind of the athlete area. She's been really relaxed this week, I think. Whether or not she's got it in her head that this is the last comp and she can kind of just try and enjoy it, I don't know. But normally she's super focused, quiet almost when she's in the arena. But this week, she's been very chilled out, and I think she's got it in her today to hopefully keep it together. We'll see.
Well, this is it, isn't it? But, I mean, there's some heinous moves coming up, as we've seen, and she's being careful here. The problem is, you don't want to be too careful. It's easy to time out on this, but look, really not enjoying standing on that ice.
Yeah, Marianne's not the fastest climber, but she's so strong that often nothing really phases her too much. A lot of the athletes will get to a move and spend 30 to 60 seconds kind of wasting away on it. As long as Marianne can get to the moves, as long as she can get up on this sketchy ice block, I think we're going to see consistent movement through the roof, and it's going to be cool to see.
Agreed. She needs to get up, first of all. She's not really committing to that ice box. But now she's got the right axe in. And now she's upside down in more comfortable territory for her. She can unleash some of that strength.
It's mad to think athletes can be so comfortable the moment they leave this nice big flat platform, and they're like, no, get me on the roof. Get me somewhere where I can hang on my arms.
You can see their body sort of relax. They're like, oh, thank goodness for that. All right, well, she's got some hard transitions to come here. It's got to go back behind her head. You just hear Dennis in the background yelling her on. Reaches behind her head, hooks the next hole, just adjusting it. There is Dennis. Wherever he is, the camera people seem to find him every single time.
It's because he's so tall.
Yeah, that's a good point. He's massive, isn't he? Yeah.
Like a giant sticking out in the crowd.
We were actually talking about his height during the semi-finals. He was telling us how much his ape index is.
It'll be something crazy, stupid.
It was
positive.
20 inches, I think.
That's just cheating, isn't it?
It's silly, isn't it?
We should cut some of that off and make it fair.
Wow. Brutal in the commentary box. Amputations going on. All right, Marianne. This is the awkward bit here where your feet start to get in the way.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible. On these boxes, you've obviously got a foot underneath the box, and you've got a feet above the box, and then they add volumes just to make it some more awkwardness.
Everything, isn't it? But to be fair, she did that very smoothly.
Yeah, I think having the strength to kind of sit up in that fig four, really just to reach up rather than kind of have to swing into it, she made that look too easy.
Yeah, she did. Really comfortable so far. And Mark, who's commentating about the athletes making it look hard on ice. Yeah, it's more the tools they've got. So it's not like normal crampons where you've got crampons at the back of the boot as well. She's basically just standing on rubber, so it feels different. The tools aren't designed for ice, so that's why. A lot of these are very good ice climbers when they have the correct tools, but it's different for this sport. Right, now this is the nervy bit for me. These holes are tiny.
Yeah, you got to try and keep the swing under control, not let it put yourself out of balance, and just kind of smoothly move through this, which I know sounds a bit bonkers, trying to stay smooth when you're hanging from ice axes on a roof, but as you can see here, she's clearly got the tension in herself still. Everything looks really quite effortless.
Yeah, it does. Flowing between it.
Come on, Marianne.
I think everything in this sport's a bit bonkers, so it doesn't say anything at this point. I've seen it all. All right, now this is what you were saying is not much to go on here. You've got to find the right spot on it, and it's kind of blind.
Yep, she's found that pretty quickly, and, the time is kind of ticking down, but
True.
If she keeps this constant pace, we're definitely going to see her up in that top section.
All right, well, the head wall beckons. Another Stein to come first of all, but a chance for her to shake out here. Drills that right foot into the volume. Dennis shouting in the crowd. Getting lots of support from back home is Marianne.
Yeah, you can hear Dennis giving her the time and telling her she needs to move. Just trying to motivate her to keep pushing forwards.
Oh, she's shaking out. There is Dennis. We can hear his voice. We couldn't see him for a while, but he's there now. Full screen Dennis. So Marianne's still up there on the wall. She's struggling here, though. For the first time, really, she pauses here. And outside of the podium at the moment.
She's got it. There we go.
Much better. Found a bit of oomph there.
Pace has got to go up now. It's all or nothing. She's got to give it. absolutely turbo mode now if she wants to get on that podium.
Yeah, there's a long way to go, and a dyno at the end, and only 34 seconds now, so come on, Marianne.
Yeah, she's got to fly through these next 3 or 4 holds like they're nothing. If she hesitates, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, agreed. And a clip in. Well, she's got that now. Dennis just...
You can just hear him screaming.
Yeah, he's trying to get her to move quickly. Less than 15 seconds. She's going to get timed out. It just depends where she gets timed out. She's still outside of the podium. Needs a couple more moves. That's what Dennis is trying to get her to do. It's easier said than done. That's time on our clock. She's got a couple of seconds left. I think that is time out though now.
Oh, it was so close.
Shakes her head. Well, again, it's not quite, just one spot outside the podium.
It's so unfortunate as well because I think she looks so strong on the roof, but the moment she came over that lip, it just looked like the energy was gone, and she just didn't have the arms left to kind of keep the pace high.
Yeah, you're right.
Which is a shame because I know she can do those moves, and she will too. But it's another thing when you know you've got a time limit and you need to do it without a shake.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, tricky season. One of those she'll look back on, I think, and have learnt a lot, but it's hard to swallow at the time, you know. So Marianne is done for the time being. Just 2 to go for the women, 3 to go for the men. Keenan up next. And she will enjoy this moment just standing there. But yeah, you can see not what she would have wanted in terms of the result there.
Hey, coming away and using your full time on every route, you know, I think she topped both qualifiers. She almost topped the semis and timed out, and then to time out in the finals is never a bad thing. Yeah, you could probably have gone a bit faster, but it's better than taking a low down fall, and she should look back at this and be happy, I hope.
Yeah, I'm sure she will once it's settled in. Well, her World Championship is done for now. We still have to crown a winner for tonight.
I just want to know if we're going to see a top. Is anybody going to stick that dyno?
Yeah, I want to see it. I'd like to get at least one top in. Chat, don't go quiet on me. Let me know if you're enjoying that and enjoying the whole comp so far. It's been a good one. Some unique routes. So keep that chat going. Show your support for the athletes. And this gentleman comes out. What's his panda nickname?
To be honest, I don't think I'm in the know with what the panda thing comes from. Some people say it's because it's always black and white with the tools and I think with the helmet, but I'm sure he's always climbed on a red helmet, so maybe I just don't know the joke.
No, I don't either. This is the thing. I feel very uncool now. I don't know this. Anyway, he's called the panda. And a very strong boulder as well. I saw him do that crazy move. I think it was in Saas Fee where he just fully bouldered a section, and he has that strength to rely on.
Yeah, he's come on so much in the last few years, and he was super strong as a youth when he was competing in the youth categories, and then literally the moment he walked on the seniors stage, it was exactly the same thing. Just dominating the pack, coming out and really performing at the top level, even though he's really young, and definitely world champion material. And he's really going for it tonight, I think. Yeah,
he's got a big future ahead of him, and he could take the win here tonight, qualifying in 3rd position for this finals. Lots of support. The second he comes out, the chat goes absolutely crazy. Everyone behind Keenan. Okay, so he stood up tall above this crowd. Tries for the stretch, gets it. All right, Keenan on the box, traverses over to the right-hand side of it. And this big drop-down move, which is almost like a jump coming up. DJ and the MC trying to get the crowd motivated. They don't need much encouragement. So, stretches back. Here comes the drop-down move. Oh, beautiful.
Nice and easy there.
Swinging down to it. All right, down climb time, and then you can start, I feel like, getting actually into the route. It's like all this stuff is almost a preamble to the route.
Yeah, it's like, can you hold the strength? Can you hold the pressure for this little traverse? And, it's only 2 moves, but holding these undercuts on that angle is hard. And like I was saying earlier, it just starts sapping your energy, taking the tension. And we've seen a few athletes just not be able to hold it or just ping, and he's cruising through this. So, we're going to see him on the rest of the route. Yeah,
for sure. He's looking good. Down in 6th at the moment. Benjamin Bossard's in the top spot with 17. Still fairly low in terms of scoring.
Yeah, I want to see someone up on that head ball. I want to see what those setters have got in store for these athletes at the top of this route.
Something wild, I would imagine. It's got to with the rest of this route like this. All right, he's through that dangerous couple of holds we've seen a few athletes go. Reaches up. And then here comes this crazy transition into the shaking earthquake wall.
So let's see if he'll transition on a figure 4 or figure 9. It depends which leg he goes with. So if he goes with the right leg, it'll be the 4, similar to what Benjamin did. And if he goes with the left leg like he did, that's the 9. So this will make the clip a little bit harder, but it will definitely make the next move easier. So
will he have read that from the ground, or is that an instinct thing?
I think so, although he needs to remember he needs to clip this clip. So
oh yeah, true.
I think he's just noticed that. There we go.
So this is the tangle he was in, because he went over like that. He's now got the rope in a slightly weird position.
Yes, you can see him switching into the 4 so that he can reach up and clip this clip. A 4 just allows you to get a little bit higher. It's a little bit easier to hold that position because it's the opposites of your body, so it gives you a bit more stability. Whereas when you're in the 9, you've got the same leg and the same arm. It's a little bit less stable. It's more of a transition between 4s. So now he's back in the 4, ready to go for the move. Come on.
Oh, it's a long way though, isn't it? That's a good angle to show it. 3 times he's gone. Hits it on the 4th.
Nice.
And now needs to drop down on another high clip to come. It's a leg back over. Looking confident now, moving quickly.
Trying to get his feet on there. This roof's so hard to kick because obviously it's moving, so you kind of bounce off your feet when you kick one in, the other one comes out. But also the ply they've used this competition, it's birch ply, so it's really dense. It's really quite firm, and it does hold quite well if you manage to kind of penetrate into it. But trying to kick this wood is difficult. Yeah,
less flex, but harder to kick.
Yeah.
My toes hurt every time I watch them do it. I've lost enough toenails personally when I've ice climbed. So yeah, some hard kicks needed. Right, reaches way up above his head. Now this is the dangerous sequence of moves though. This next pink one has caused a lot of people problems. This one's okay, it's thin.
It's this next hold, it's just so bad. We've watched some of the best in the world take it and just ping straight off. So let's see if he can do it. Let's see if he takes it slightly differently, or if it's just a tension thing. Come on, Keenan.
Wow. Oh, careful. You can see it shaking. He's got to commit to it. This is the dangerous bit.
It looks good there.
Yeah. But always doing a lot of adjustments. I mean, he won't know everyone's fallen off this move. He's in number one, and he's clipping off it. Oh.
So it looks like they've got to do a big shoulder press out right here under that next volume. So he's gonna, as he moves across, he's gonna have to keep the tension on this tool. So let's see if he can do it.
Oh, he's full confidence.
Yeah.
And gets it. Transitions out of it. Come on, yes.
That was the move.
That was it. And look at that live cup standing as well. Jumps up to 192. So suddenly on the top spot.
It's funny how it's all still to play for. We're on the last comp, and it really will be decided here.
I don't think he's realised he's kind of stood on the rope here. There he goes. He tried to make that clip when it was caught.
And again, we're going for some more traversing here. These route setters are really taking on an adventure.
They are, aren't they? 30 seconds to go as well. It's not a lot of time. He's way out in front, though. Just 2 to come after him, so this will be a guaranteed podium spot for him.
Amazing. I think that is his first podium in the World Cup,
cool.
Which is awesome.
And the World Champs as well, so a good time to peak. 10 seconds. Still needs to keep pushing.
Come on, next hold. He can get one more.
Time is called, but first position, guaranteed a podium, and yeah, I think he's pretty happy about that.
And so he should be. What a great, he took that hole with such confidence, and he didn't even fret at it. He totally just went for it, and then that awesome, really hard shoulder press across. Wow, that was cool.
That was indeed. Well, he is done. Big smile. He knows he's done well there. Just 2 to go. And 2 to go for the women as well. Catalina Shirley up next for the USA. You can see that black and white gloves. That's part of the panda look, we think. Neither of us are cool enough to be in on the joke, so we don't know. But yeah, it's got to be
breathing heavy there. He's breathing heavy.
He is. He's shaking his head.
I'm excited to see when he sees his teammates and they get to tell him that it's guaranteed podium. He's going to be a happy lad in a minute.
He is, isn't he? Well, let's watch as he comes over.
There's Tyler.
Yeah. He knows now, doesn't he? There we go. Let's listen to this.
Oh my God.
There's some American hype going on right now.
It's amazing. It's like that moment's so special, and I know Tyler's been coaching him for ages, and it's cool to see the kind of mutual respect, not only as athletes, but total mutual peers, and it's really cool to see the young generation coming through, and really kicking ass. It's awesome.
Agreed. And the chat is telling me that he would be, if these scores count, he'd be the first American to podium at a World Cup.
I think that might be true. Tyler came really close for a long time. At least definitely the first American male, because I know we've had quite a few ladies on the podium. So what an awesome moment for him, and for Team USA. It's really cool.
Agreed. I hope that stat is correct, 'cause it's an awesome one. Thank you, chat, for providing the professionalism that clearly I'm not lacking. I didn't know that.
It might be totally unreliable, and we're all just talking nonsense. But I hope it's true, because he totally deserves the recognition.
Agreed. All right. Well, his teammate Catalina is out. She had a good showing in the speed, good semi-final run, and she's one to watch for this final for sure. Is more than capable of winning here.
Yeah, she's had a hell of a season. Starting it off with a banging career. I know Sasfay didn't quite go as well as she wanted, but she's climbed so well this weekend. And I watched her. I think I only really saw her in qualies, but she just made it all look a bit too easy, to be honest.
Yeah, agreed. And she was good in UIAA as well. That was a good comp for her. So yeah, had a good one. All right, well, she's got some way to go, though. Sina Gertz in the top spot with 22, so Sina is guaranteed a podium as well. That's confident stuff through the ice, looking good at the moment. And the women don't have the advantage. Some of the men can stretch up, which is definitely a safer way of doing this, but she's got to stand on that ice box, which has got to feel awful.
It's funny, they all kind of hesitate just for a second, and they're like, oh, I've actually got to leave this thing now.
Yeah. Oh, great shot as her feet leave the ice. She did manage to stretch. All right, well, on to the dry tooling holds now. Oh, a couple of moments of hesitation down low.
Just literally finding her feet, I think. Getting used to, it really is a quick transition into the sky. So I don't blame her for having a moment to be like, okay, God, here we are.
Yeah, this is what I do for the day job. Forget the icy bit. All right, awkward move to come. We saw Marianne really cruise through this with that powerful fig four. Using her feet a bit. Yeah, this move, we've seen some issues here. She's got the heel hook in, that's cool.
Yeah, quite a few athletes trying to really use that hold on that volume just to try and, get some weight on that right foot so you don't have to do this big, deep lock. But it looks like she's still having to pull hard here.
She is. I think that right foot out might be a bit of a red herring. She now is changing it over, yeah.
Here we go, that's it. Nice.
Better, yeah.
Yeah, that's way better.
I think it's just the body position that you're in with that heel doesn't help.
Like, it's such an awkward place on that box. I think just getting your feet over your arms so they're out the way is almost better.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, well, clips in through this first section. It's exhausting watching this. Up towards the pink hold, wraps it. Huge support from the chat as well. Thank you everyone for sending those messages. Catalina doing well on the traverse. Got to go low though here. You can hear someone say you've got plenty of time. She does. 3.5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, it's this section that really zaps the time, though. If she can break through this roof and get on that head wall with a minute or two to spare, then we're going to see a new high point, and she needs to just keep it moving and not let it all fall to bits.
Oh, big cut loose there. She went with it nicely, didn't try to fight it, which I was thinking is smart.
Yeah, it's always dangerous when you lose your feet because you don't know if you're going to lose the tension on that tool, but she's kept it together, feet are back on the floors. This is it.
Yeah, reaches up. Business end of the route to come now. Still got time, 3 minutes on the clock.
And still looking really strong, not really shaking out between moves, just plugging away one hold at a time.
Yeah, she's fresh. All right. Steinpool to come. Changes that axe. That looks solid. There is Team USA watching on. Everyone, look at the mouths agape as she goes. Shakes that left hand back. 2 minutes 22 on the clock, and you're right about the time. It goes so quick through that blue roof.
Yeah, it's just, I think those moves are so hard, and you do just need 1 or 2 minutes to just have enough time to shake in between every move, so you're not just zapping your energy. And then they get on this head wall, and they're already bust. So let's see how she does when she gets over this next lip, and see how much steam she's got left in the tank.
Yeah, sometimes the head walls are more technical than powerful. I think this is a powerful head wall. It's just the body position is hard, and this is a big move as well. She's struggling to get the height at the moment. There she goes, locks it in. A lot of people nervous watching this. Yeah, we are too, trust us. Loses her feet again, minute 38. The drone rotates around.
That was close.
Oh. Third time lucky, maybe. We'll need to shake before, though.
There's nothing worse than when you just miss the hold, because just a few more millimeters of height, and she'd have hit that, and she'd be past this move now.
Oh, she slips and falls, gets tangled for a sec.
What a nightmare!
Yeah, in fifth, that's outside of the podium. Just couldn't get it, and you're right, millimeters all it took. She could have moved forward and been gone.
It's one of those moves that you want to hit first time, so you're not wasting energy on it. And she guys, what a battle to be able to do first 2-3 times. It was so close.
It was. Well, she stands there with her hands on her hips, breathing deeply, down in 6th on the live cup standings. So we narrow things down, just one woman to go. Wu Xin. And this was down low where she lost her feet, stayed calm and got the feet back into play, but the final move, let's watch where it went wrong.
So close.
Well, she is done. Gives Tyler a hug.
I think she's happy. I don't think she looks too disappointed. I think she knows she can do that move. And I think she'll be kicking herself that pick didn't just get the purchase on the first go.
Nice job, dude. Yeah. You're good.
Oh. Well, the season ends for Catalina, but yeah, strong showing from her. Okay, Young Gun Lee is getting ready. There he is, walking onto the stage. And now he really does have potential here to take the overall title. We'll see those live cup standings in a sec.
Yeah, I think we're going to see this guy go through the roof in no time whatsoever. He's going to be on a mission to use as much time as possible on the top. But as we've seen, having time at the top isn't everything here. The top of this route is hard, and it's going to be interesting to see if he can keep it together on those really difficult moves.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he was looking good in the semi-finals, had a flow until he fell. Oh, sorry, he didn't fall. He topped it out, didn't he? He got that swing, that dyno at the top.
It was pretty awesome to see.
Yeah. First one to do it.
Yeah, the Korean team really are strong in their figure fours, figure nine, kind of the whole roof climbing, it stems all the way from the venue in Cheongsong, and also the kind of dry tool bouldering caves that they've got all across the country. Just figure four, figure nine, left, right, and center. So I don't think you'll struggle with this section, but you've got to be careful at the top with these bad holds. So let's see if you can get up there with enough time to really to be careful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, speed makes you make mistakes sometimes. Someone's asking about if the athletes are allowed to watch the broadcast to kind of like see the moves. No, they're not. So they're in isolation. Any device with internet is taken away from them. That includes smartwatches. Anything where they can have contact with the outside world is taken away. So they're in pure isolation. So they don't get to see what happens. You guys do back at home. We get the privilege of knowing what they can do wrong, but these guys are totally fresh at it. That was a smooth transition over to the wall there. It was good work.
Nice and quick work through that first box, not wasting too much energy.
And we saw how close he was to the overall title win, so just needs a couple more points in order to secure that. Flicks the axe. Gets it locked in. So awkward, though. It's just a weird thing to climb down.
Yeah, it's really not natural, and okay, it is just the opposite of the way you normally. But I think how used to climbing upwards, or at least even across, it's what you're training, and there's so few times you actually train climbing downwards. So it is an awkward section, that.
Yeah, I think it might be actually benefit people with small training walls where you have to sort of like do loops. Genuinely, if you have a venue like Cheong Song and you're used to climbing up, you might not be used to it. But if you're on a spray wall going round in your garage, maybe easier. He says, theorising about something he has no idea, but that's my theory. I'm sticking with it.
I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense.
Right? Yeah. All right, earthquake wall to come. Gets those feet high. Trying to figure this out here. Gets very 3D in this next section. Got that clip to make, of course.
Yeah, just like Benjamin there, into the figure 4 so we can get this clip easy. Sit up nice and tall here. I think this will go in with no trouble.
Bit of rope drag, but drags it up. All right, he's in underneath.
Look at that, first time.
Oh, so smooth. Just like 100% confidence, isn't it? Just, yeah, brilliant.
Like I said, this is kind of these guys' bread and butter. This is what they're used to, hanging around, real 360, three-dimensional climbing on the roof. So I don't think he'll struggle here. I'm just so nervous about that section after the earthquake wall.
Yeah. He's got some hard moves to come here. Right, pulls up, nearing the top of this section now. Gets another one locked in. So comfortable when he's in this position. Next 2 holds, though, that's what we're nervous about. We've seen a lot of people fall up there. Keenan sitting in the top spot.
Yeah, he'll be sitting nervous now, not knowing what position he's actually going to get away with.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. This is the nervy set of moves. He does swing. Oh, it's a thin hold to be doing that on.
Oh, God. The palms are like sweaty.
Nearly went again. That is a heck of a save off a bad hold, but has he lost the concentration now? This is where it can go at any second.
This is it.
Wants this shoulder move, gets it, and look at that, moving up to the top spot on the overall standings, way out in front now.
He really did make that look easy there, and I know Keenan did amazing on that move, but wow, this guy just absolutely walked all over that move.
Yeah, he did. There's levels to this game, aren't there? Well, oh, that was close though, as I said that. And he's not in the top spot yet. He's on 19.
It's really cool. You can see he's still got loads of energy left. Even there where his foot slipped, he's able to hold himself and kind of, he's got a little bit of forgiveness left. I think this guy's we're going to see near top, I think. This is looking really, really good.
Yeah, and he's got time. Minute 20 on the clock. There is Keenan. Of course, he's supporting him.
Looking strong. Come on.
Yeah, definitely not pumped yet. We're getting tired, though. Drags the clip in. Now he's on the top spots. So that is provisional gold. Guaranteed a silver with 1 to go. Oh, that's a hesitation. Trying to find the good spot. It's a bit blind. He's going to hope he's got it. Whoa, this is instinctual climbing. This is good to see. Younggun Lee climbing himself to possibly World Championship gold here. Definitely the overall.
Okay, what have we got in store here? We've got something coming up. You can see him setting up for it. He's got a clip and then he's got to go by the looks of it. You can see that top up in the top left.
Yeah, that is going to be a big old jump, isn't it?
Oh, God. Well, we've seen him dyno today already, so here we go. All or nothing.
10 seconds. He might be standing on the draw, though. I hope that doesn't get caught. Flicks
Yes!
out. Wow.
What a hero.
What a move. 3 seconds to go. It might not be enough time to top it, but he doesn't care. Oh, no, it is, of course. There is no clip. That was the final clip. So is that a top?
I think that might have been a top because there's no clip out there on the end of that. Wow.
Yeah, top. Look, the graphic says it. He tops it out. Well, that's the overall wrapped up for sure.
That is so cool.
What a move. Double dynos in 2 subsequent routes. Really good work from Younggun Lee.
And he didn't have a lot of time, and I don't know whether he knew how much time he went, but he didn't hesitate at all. He just saw that hole and he was like, I'm going.
Yeah. Wild swing, holding it with his left arm. Chat goes crazy. Glad you guys enjoyed that at home. We did here in the commentary box as well. What a climb from that man. Just Mohamed Reza to go. He could still win, of course, the World Championship.
Yeah, it is all still to play for. That is the thing. Like, Reza will be sat in isolation. He won't know that there's been a top. He might have heard the crowd going wild, but you don't know what that means until you've come out and seen the scoreboard. So I have no doubt that man will come out and give it everything as well. So the show is not over.
It is not indeed. He could make 2 gold medals in a row after the speed last night. This was the jump. Wild swing. Look at that. And then the match. Yeah, I did wonder if the top was round the corner, like 1 move away, but I think the sign is there.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting, like in Denver, they had a very similar move. They dynoed out to that final hold, and then there was a clip right on the end of it. But,
yeah.
Clearly not here. They get the clipping out of the way, and then they go for it. And
I prefer that, to be honest.
I think it's pretty cool. You know, you finish with the move rather than with the clip.
Yes, I hate it when they have to fumble with a clip and they're clearly pumped, and then it's just stressful.
There's totally nothing worse. As an athlete, you know, you're out your mind, you're in the red, and you're just like, your arms are screaming, and you've got to fumble with the rope and the clip, and it's just a nightmare.
It is, so I much prefer that one. Right, Wu Xin Xin will be out last. He's exhausted, isn't he? Draped in the Korean flag. That's got to feel so good. All right, well, last woman out. Onto this women's route before we say goodbye to it. She stayed to watch the whole of the men's semi-final as well.
Yeah, Shin's been on fire this season. You know, she's always been amazing, but this season she's just made it look so effortless. And I think if we're going to see a top today, she's the lady to do it.
Agreed. 6.5 minutes on the clock, and potentially, as you could, well, she's already won, the overall title. Sina Gertz might have caught her, but couldn't do enough on the night. So Wu Xin Xin has sewn up the overall, and now wants to add World Championship gold to that overall title. Not choosing to hook. Now I'll get some hooks in.
Yeah, so I really think this will come down to pace, so how fast she moves through that roof. Because she's definitely good enough to stay on the wall. There's nothing that's been too tricky. It's just more been about how much steam you've got left and how much time you've got left. And if she can get through the roof and have plenty of both of those, then we're going to see as close to a top as we are, I think. This is it.
Yeah, this is it. Nervy move to come, though, first of all. Oh, she's doing it a bit differently as well. Hooking in underneath. Get stood up. Oh, gosh.
And it is funny, like, see wearing your fruit boots, standing around on ice, or often when you go outdoor dry tooling and you're on kind of wet, slimy rock, the heels of the boots don't have anything on them. They're just a slidey rubber. And, I mean, the amount of times I've ended up on my ass, because you forget, and you just stand on your heel and you slide. That must be terrifying, standing up there on a block of ice.
Yeah, no one's looked confident doing that move all evening. Okay, here we go. Hooking above her head. Got to make this tricky move backwards behind her onto the next box. Reaches through. She's got this amazing flow when she's in the zone. So good to see.
Yeah, it's almost like I think she probably plans which leg and which arm and how she's going to fig 4, fig 9, because when she comes out and does them, there's never any knots tied up in her. She's never switching hands too much. It's, like you said, just a real natural flow on the wall.
Yeah.
Really is world class.
Yeah, she is. Utter quality, eh? Well, this is the tricky move, though. The one, it is awkward. She's done it a bit like Marianne did it. Super confident through that, no issues. Having a bit of trouble with drag here. Gets it in now. Hooks around the corner.
Wasn't quite happy with that.
No, had to make the adjustment.
I actually think that was quite smart. So she decided to go with the short grip, so that now she can come in with a long grip, which just puts her lower, which normally is the worst thing you can do. But because she's moving downwards, it actually puts her closer to the next hold. So amazing to see the kind of climbing IQ there. You know, she instantly looked at the next hole beam lower and was like, actually, I'm going to do this the opposite way.
Yeah, well spotted. All right, clips her in. Next 2 holes, I think, just look like I hate the next 2 holes.
And it's because it's on the roof and it's on a volume, so the angle of them just looks so like impossible.
Yeah, agreed. Impossible is the right word for it. All right, big move out. Hooks the first one in, just the end of the pick in play here. Wraps the foot. Drops down into it. Tenuous stuff here coming up. But she's had no issues with anything else in the route. Currently sitting in 6th.
Still around 3 minutes on the clock as well. So, yeah, we keep the space up. We're definitely going to see her on this head wall. Just got to get through this tricky section with the double steins, because as we've seen, this bit might look easy, but that double stein is where it zaps all the energy out of you.
Yeah, suddenly the clock becomes your enemy and it ticks down. So, got to keep moving through here. Gets the first one in. Strong stuff. Second one to go. Nice kind of ethereal tunes in the background as well. Sort of fits her flowy style, I think. I like this.
Sounds like the DJs ramped it up out there as well, getting the crowd going.
Yeah, it's like better than your usual sort of banging techno without any thought to it. It's good. I'm being told it's bonobo. There we go. Thank you. I like a bit of bonobo. I should have known that. All right, on to the head wall. Gets the wrap in. Staying really high, and this is going to start bumping her score all the time here.
Well, she cruised through that section.
Up into 5th. Close to the edge of that wall. Got to be careful not to go out of bounds. Now steps away from the danger zone. All right, gets that clip in. Not many moves to go now, and plenty of time. Minute and a half left.
Yeah, you know, I don't think these moves are particularly easy, but she looks like she's still got juice in the tank, and we're definitely going to see her up at the high point. I don't know whether we're going to see the dyno, but it's going to be close.
Yeah, it is. That was a scary move with the Stein in, kind of floating around. Okay, kicks into the volume. A couple to go, getting lots of support now. Up into 3rd. So she's guaranteed a medal. As close as you can get to that camera person at the top.
Yeah, it's cool to see she's keeping ahead. You know, she's not rushing. The crowd's getting louder and louder, but she's still just as controlled as she was a minute ago.
So close to Cena's high point now. Gold or silver, this is what it comes down to. She's taken the overall title already. Wants the crowd.
Quick shake. She knows she needs to hold on to this axe.
Yeah, this is a big moment. She looks more settled than Cena did at this part. Sets for the Joe, hits it statically.
Wow. Oh! Can she keep it together?
Surely not.
Oh my god, my shoulders hurt.
I know. That rotation was wild. She's still kicking in the air and goes eventually. And she hasn't been awarded this yet. But surely that's gold.
Well, I'm surprised she went for the static move and not the jump. And I don't know if is there 2 holds up on that head on the kind of the outward
potentially. Well, she's in silver according to that score. We'll wait and see, but whatever, that was a good run from Shin. What a performance from her. She's certainly been the athlete of the year for the women. We'll wait and see for that score to be guaranteed. Silver or gold, regardless, that was amazing. Now let's watch some of these moves. This was on the tenuous section where the time starts to get to you. And then this was the rotation. You said shoulders hurt. Well, this is why. Look at that. Oh.
Yeah, she'll be sore in the morning after that.
Yeah, I mean, the rotation she got and then just burnt out, I think. Couldn't hold on any longer because you have to really get your legs up above. It's a lot to do. Great climbing indeed. Well, the women are done. We've just got our final athlete out for the men here in Canada at the World Champs. Reza will be waiting nervously backstage. He's won the speed already. Can he get the double here? He's got to top the route to do that.
Yeah, it's got to be topped, and it's got to be done faster. Obviously, when two athletes top a route in finals, it comes down to time before it comes to countback. So, yeah, he won't know that, but I think coming out last, World Championships, you're not aiming for anything else but a top, and you're certainly not looking to do it slowly. So we're going to see this guy move at some pace.
Well, we know he can. I mean, he took that victory in speed. Totally different set of skills, of course, but he's going to have to be driving them legs, especially down on the ice down low. Could be won or lost down low, really, if he does it quickly.
Yeah, you know, like those few seconds at the bottom that you save are exactly what you need at the top. So,
yeah. Well, look at the speed.
Yeah, look at the confidence. He wants it. He wants it so bad.
He does, doesn't he? He wants this world champ. He wants 2 world championship golds. That was risky. But it's worked out for him.
But you know, like getting to the top of that wall in 20 seconds. That's time that you saved for the top head wall, so you can take a little bit more time, so you don't have to be so risky.
He went for the stretch, couldn't reach it. Gets 1 foot on, pops up. This is speedy stuff. He's risking it all. He's rolling the dice here.
And I think that's the way, when you qualify in that top position, you come out last, you have to give it all or nothing.
And he knows there's a top. I mean, he will have heard the crowd go crazy.
He will have heard something going on.
Yeah.
And, he will know that he needs that top position. And I think when you come out, there's no other way to climb like that. And it's so exciting for the crowd. And every move you make, you know that you're risking it all, but it's exciting. It keeps everybody on their toes.
Oh, you're making me want to go and do this. This is great. I usually have to hype things up. I don't need to with you around. This is cool. All right, but he has slowed down a little bit, which is fair because he's got to make sure of these moves. Time won't count if you don't get to the top, so he needs to be careful. Okay, the big stretch back. He's a little shorter than some of them, so he's had to really reach. Ooh, this is a bit different. That works.
It works, if he wasn't sure if that hold was good or not, it's not a bad decision to weight it with the figure 4. Yeah. You know that you're not going to pop off it, but it does take a little bit longer to get in and out of, so seconds again that he's wasting, but still plenty of time on the clock.
Yeah, look at this, almost horizontal there, leaning back as he down climbs, kicking those feet out. What a fun comp this has been, eh? Really awkward, though, position. Oh, nearly went. He's going to have to really keep it together here. I don't know if he just burnt himself a bit by going that quick down low. He's had some tricky moments. The crowd, you can hear them slightly nervous now after that hype at the beginning. They've sort of
everyone's got
down.
A bit quiet now, haven't they? Yeah.
So, pops that pick again. This is nerve-wracking moments right now for Reza.
Just trying to decide what to do there, to wrap it or to take it straight on. I think he's got it the right way around now. He needs to get this clip, and then I think he'll be really, really looking forward to getting into that roof, get off this tenuous section on the wall, and get into what he knows really well.
Yeah, agreed. He hasn't looked as comfortable on the techie stuff. All right, well, he's at the top of the wall now. He gets to go upside down in a sec. Has a little feel. Chat is enjoying this too. Tyler is just typing like crazy, whoever Tyler is.
He's going for this clip early. Yeah, he can reach it. It's not a bad decision.
Well,
It means that when he goes into this next move, he can just crack on with the climbing. He doesn't need to hang around on that roof. Save the time, straight on, and straight into the next move.
yeah, and I guess that figure 9 without the awkward rope tip we've been talking makes sense now.
Yeah, exactly. He can match this tool, go straight into the 4, and go straight onto that next green hold.
Yeah, rope out of the way. Smart climbing. 3 minutes on the clock. Shakes out, looks left.
So close.
It's a long way, isn't it, this? Because not only have you got to try to reach for it, but you've got to twist as well as you do it. Look at that crowd shot. That's so cool.
Yeah, I think because the hold that he's on right now is actually a wrap. So he's not on the very tip of his pick. So he's got to watch the control of that tool and make sure it doesn't twist off the hold. So you can see him just trying to get his feet sorted here, trying to get some purchase to get something to push him in the right direction.
So much to think about, but I think he's struggling here a bit.
Yeah, this looks like hard work now.
In 6th, long way to go.
Get that hold, come on.
This is it the first time.
He'll be thankful for all those seconds he saved at the start, but he needs to get moving now.
Yeah, he does. This is not great for his time, but at the moment, I think he's struggling to finish the route. Trying to find something back, but those arms must be burning.
He's got to get this hold in this next go.
He's not close to it either.
Come on, Reza, you can do this. Come on.
Has to recover if he wants to get this move done.
And it's horrible. You know, you're hanging on that roof. Your arms are burning. You know your chances are going lower and lower the longer you miss this hold. And you just feel so helpless at that moment.
Yeah, the pressure building for Reza.
He's got to do something different. He can't hang there forever.
He's going more and more upside down, isn't he? He's just spinning on the spot, trying to get something back. He's in real trouble. And look at the time, 1 minute 20. All of that save time gone now.
Oh, it's so hard to watch sometimes. This sport can be so brutal.
And he's back kind of facing the wrong way. He's got to re-rotate around.
Right, he's going to go off the other leg now. Other arm, sorry.
He's in real trouble here, swinging in the air wildly. He just needs to get a pick on and he'll be in, but I'm not sure it's going to happen. He's spun around so many times he must be dizzy up there.
It's such a shame. This is so much like some of the athletes in Korea when they were on the ice barrels, and they had a very similar move. It was really 3D and kind of twisting around, and just some of them just got stuck on it, and it's painful. You just have a few minutes of kind of helpless suffering on the roof. He's in a world of pain right now, but he's still fighting.
He is going to be so lonely. No one can help you, can they? And I think Reza is, in real trouble here. He's down in 6th. Needs to find a miracle in the next 24 seconds.
It's funny how it can all just unfold the wrong way sometimes, and I'm sure he'll be kicking himself when he comes down and he hasn't got that hold, but what a fight he's given us. Oh, and now he hits it!
Fully upside down, 7 seconds to go, but what guts that is. That is awesome.
I cannot believe he fought for that long and then he gets that hold.
Well, there's time called. It's not going to be a podium for him, but a great fight at the end of our competition. That means Young-Gun Lee will take the victory. He's a long way out. I think he wants to get another clip in before taking this fall.
I was going to say, he's a mile away from any clips right now.
Oh, he is, isn't he? Wow. I don't think he's having fun. I think he wants that clip. Right now he's going to rest. He's got to be so boxed, surely. Well, the MC is encouraging him to keep it going, but he has been timed out at this point.
I do love that. It's the last climb of the season, the last climber, last day, and clearly the organisers are like, you know what? Let him go. Let him enjoy it.
Someone might short rope him soon, though. Yeah, well, he's done. He's just having a bit of a victory lap. Hard holds to go, though.
Hey, for him, he'll be happy he's getting to do what he can. He looks totally knackered out of his mind.
He's got to be so tired. They're hard holds. I wouldn't want to be hanging on these when you're that tired. It's good training, I guess, but yeah, I'd be done too. Well, it's a no-go for him in terms of the podium and the gold, but a good performance to fight through into 6th position for him. Man, that's the season done.
That's it. That's it over.
Oh, Well, look, because you're such an amazing hype man, for everyone watching who now is desperate to do ice climbing, how do they get into it? Can they contact you if they're interested in this?
I mean, you can do, especially if you're in the UK. You know, I'm heavily involved in the Scottish Dry Tooling Club. I think we've mentioned that before on the live stream. We get people into this bonkers sport, and we kit you out, and we help you, you know, learn the basics. So, yeah, look us up on Instagram or social media or any of those things. Scottish Dry Tooling Club, and come and get involved, because it's a bit of a bonkers world, but it's good fun.
It is indeed, and we've seen some spectacular climbing here tonight. A bit of everything. We've seen blood, sweat and tears, literally, in all three of those. This was the move. I can't believe he got it. Fought so hard to get that, and then deservedly climbed a little bit higher after being timed out, but it wasn't going to count for his score. So celebrations and congratulations to Younggun Lee, who takes the World Championship gold and the overall title. And Wushin Sin as well. Same thing, World Championship and the overall. Well done, Team Korea. Wow.
Yeah, they have done well this year, that's for sure.
Yeah, they really have. Well, our drone comes in from behind. We're waiting for the confirmation of the results. Here they go. Wushin Shin, top spot 23, beating Sina Gertz, who comes second, Francisca in third. That's our top three. Marianne, again, just outside by a couple of points for her. Marianne, Catalina, Haruku, and Emir after that. Hopefully her face okay. And Younggun Lee takes victory, the only one to top. Keenan, silver medal, and we think the first American male to get on a podium ever. Benjamin Bossard after that in third. Good performance from him. Not a gold, but one day. Virgil, Guido, Mohamed Reza, we just saw him fight through. Nathan and Kevin make up our top 8. I think we'll see the overall in a minute as well, but Team Korea celebrating, and this is the overall. So, as expected, by 300 points, over 100 points ahead of Sina Gertz. Wushin Shin takes the overall victory. Marianne coming in third. Congratulations to our top 3. They'll be on the podium after the broadcast finishes, so you can go onto the UIAA Instagram. Younggun Lee, top spot as well, 245. Keenan, who did so well tonight, jumped himself up the leaderboard into second, and Virgil in third. Virgil could have taken the overall tonight if things had been different, but a good performance from him. And Benjamin Bossard just outside of that top 3 for 2024. And that just about wraps up our broadcast, man. Thank you so much for joining me in the commentary box.
Thanks for having me. That was absolutely mega.
It was indeed. Well, we will wind things up here in Edmonton, Canada for the World Championships. Fantastic performance from all the athletes, and thank you to everyone working behind the scenes for this season. We'll be back next year, and we will see you guys very, very soon.
I don't know, you keep wanting to go back, and you can never stop.
I've been dreaming of winning World Cups, or at least being able to stand on the podium of a World Cup.
What makes a champion? I mean, I think it's about kind of being able to perform at the highest level and dealing with some fairly kind of tenuous conditions.
You're not happy with the place until you're at the top. Yeah, last season was almost like a comedy show.
It kind of did take over my life then for quite a few years.
It's the fierce version of everything.
If it goes their way on the day, they could all easily be up there on the podium.
And it is a big family that kind of hate each other.
Three, four.